Welcome back to Q1, everybody. Nick Gishan has retired from the session, posting a 108.551. We've got Pantry Star on a 109.337, quickly followed by Boonties, Chums, Shakes, Uzi, Jack, Umair. All have set times. Umair with a pretty slow lap by his standard. Jack has gone P8 on a 111.037. Just waiting to see whereabouts is Arno at the moment. He is on an outlap. We've got Bert's in front of him. We've got Brad also on his outlap, and a few drivers just coming out of the pits. My apologies for the problems there with the stream. You know all about it if you've been following this division. My best guess is that it is someone joining late, and we have got Royal Viking in the chat. We've got 17 drivers all of a sudden. So I hope it wasn't somebody joining late, which is not allowed. 108.442, a new fastest time from Umair. And let's ride on board, shall we? Brad, who is on his second lap on the medium tyres at the moment. Let's see if he is actually... No, he's not got a lot of ERS left, so I don't think Brad is actually attacking the lap right now. We'll watch on board with Bertz then, as he is actually doing a lap. He's on medium tyres. Hoping to get through, perhaps, using the mediums, or just get the first sighter run done on the medium tyres. I don't know whether it's worth me doing the standings at this stage of proceedings, or if we get a between session, I will go through the standings. I just don't want to end up with having to do them again if we have to restart. Jacques has rejoined. It just makes me very nervous when drivers join. It seems to be the trigger point for my kicks. Here comes Bertz then to cross the line of 110.556, 10th place so far. Nothing too impressive, but those were medium tyres, so what else would we expect? Avalak is on a lap, and he is on the soft tyres, having used about 50% of his ERS on this lap alone, so I'm pretty sure he's going for it. It's not a lot of point using ERS in the middle sector. This is all about the amount of downforce our guys have got. And good evening to Fahim, one person I haven't said hello to yet, who just joined as we exited the previous video. So Fahim, good evening to you. Good to have the Osman family tribe all with us. Avalak powers out of Yonsal then to finish off the track. But technically this corner is called Subida dos Box, but it's not really a corner in anything other than treacherous rain. 108.693 for Avalak, just a shade slower than his teammate. Nicely through for him. Royal Viking has gone 5th. We've got 0-2 down there at the moment. He's invalidated his lap. Hashim is doing one in the Williams, but unfortunately has just wiped out his front wing and reset to track. I think the stewards will be relatively kind on that one. So doesn't look like we're going to have any fast laps right now. Maybe Uzi is up to that. He's 4 seconds over his time note, so that would be a no as to whether he's actually running a lap. 0-2. It has started his next one. He's got a reasonable amount of ERS on board as well, so should probably be running this one at full throttle. Away then to the first sector for 0-2. 16.9 it is. Not going to get too excited by the purple time. Straddles the curb on the way out of Descida de Lago, and that's not advisable. It's just raised enough to bottom out the car. Down we go then into the SA corner, and next into Pinheirino. Just building the speed. Short shifting here then on the way through Magulo. Now it's Yonsal, and just get down into 4th gear. This would be ideal if he can get a tow, but I fear the car in front may be on his way into the pits. Here comes 0-2. Martin still hasn't gone out yet, and I didn't see Martin have joined us on time, in fact. A 109.085 for 0-2 goes P7, and I don't know who else is actually running a lap. Here comes Shakes then, next one to go for it. Purple middle sector for Shakes, very handy. I wonder if he's giving up a little bit of top speed. 1.4 seconds to the good from his top time so far. This could jump him a huge way up the order but it is all about survival, this one, to be in the top 15 drivers, sometimes the top 14, depending on what mood the game is in. Shakes goes P5, a 108.889, and of course one of the perils of full qualifying is that if you do bin the car and take one of the wheels off and get a forcible retirement in qualifying, in Q1 or Q2, regardless of the time you set, you will not be seen in Q2 or Q3 for the final pole position shootout. Jacques then comes towards the final busy part of the lap as Umer retires on provisional fastest time, 108.442, the benchmark at the moment. Jacques improves, just gets himself off the slowest pace out there that has set a time so far. Hashim and Martin on outlaps. I'll keep an eye on Martin because he's usually very, very quick. Chums is the next one then. He's in P12 at the moment. Probably not feeling particularly comfortable at 110.1. I think if you can get yourself in the 109s, you'll be feeling safe enough. A purple first sector for Chums is a lot more comfortable though for him. Martin yet to start his lap at the moment. Got a Alfa Romeo in front who gets out of the way in a good place, just off the racing line. Martin is next then to tackle his lap. With all due respect to Chums, he has already set a lap. Let's see him come through the second sector, and if he's incredible, then we'll ride with him. He's not, he's lost that purple status. Oh, and Martin is in fact invalidated, so we'll go back to Chums and see if he can jump up ahead under the swaying Samba grandstand and across the line. Then it's only good enough for P11 for Chums, unfortunately. Bit of pressure on Martin at the moment, likewise on Hashim. There's 5.5 minutes to go of Q1. Seemingly fairly smooth sailing for Hashim at the moment. He's got Martin on track ahead of him. Don't think that will be a problem. Martin will be building the speed and resetting for another attempt there. Several retirements coming in the pits. Drivers feeling comfortable. Out of Yunsao then. Again, usually quite low grip exit of Yunsao. You see drivers snaking around slightly. Stay left, but don't cross the white line. And we go to the line for Hashim, and it's second fastest. Much better now this time, and Martin is coming through Curva del Sol, the first sector, and heading down the Retro-Aposta before setting a 17.0 first sector. That's probably going to be pretty good. Martin, the only driver yet to set a time, but I think the guys in P13 onwards will likely come out again for another run. They want to be in the top 14 to be safe, really. A little bit off the apex of Yunsao, but a purple middle for Martin. Difficult to tell if that purple is genuine. It might be with Martin, but we don't know exactly. Stretches to the line then for Martin, and it's a third fastest, 108.483. Wow, the top three within 1/10 of each other, well, the same half a tenth even, you could say. Jacques is the next to approach the lap, but this is a bit of a slow one for him. Let's see, we've got Uzi in the danger zone, so is Bertz, Jacques himself, and then potentially Brad as well. So we'll focus on them in these last few runs. Let's see. We saw Uzi had invalidated his previous lap. Jacques fighting. No, Jacques is going to give it up. Let's see about Uzi then. 3 minutes on the clock. This one needs to matter for Uzi. This run at least, whether it's this lap or a next one. But if he doesn't have time for a new set of tyres, this is what he will qualify on. So, Uzi versus Bertz versus Jacques for qualification for Q2. and a 3.5 improvement for Uzi in the first sector. Wonder if any setup sharing is going on between the two brothers. Safely through La Joreña and into SA, climbing all over those curbs. Picking his lines well is Uzi. Not running too wide out of Pico di Pato because Magulo comes at you very quickly. Down into Yunsao, that's a purple sector for Uzi in sector 2. So some good downforce and grip in sector 2. The track improving too. If he can get his lap in here, it promises to be a good one. Heads towards the line as Jacques improves and Bertz improves. Uzi gets into 14th place. Just about, you think, just about safe. But Brad is on track at the moment and trying to beat his previous time. But Uzi on a 109.6 should be safe. Although Brad with a purple middle sector. Let's see, long drag to the main start-finish straight for Brad. He'll be deploying every percentage of energy he's got left as he goes to the line. Then Brad just about gets in. P11 is secure, but Uzi right on the danger zone right now with 1 minute 15 to go. I don't think, no, Bertz doesn't appear to be pushing on this lap. Is that Chums about to finish? It is, but he's invalidated. So at the moment, Umer's lap is the benchmark. Bertz going around slowly. Jacques in the pits. I think Uzi has a good chance of surviving this one, this session. Is Chums tempted to go for another lap and keep us waiting till the end? I think he might be, although he's 1/10 over his fastest time so far in sector 1. A little bit of counter steer through Ferradura. Car getting a bit loose on him. Ride with Chums then as he finishes this lap out. He's on the cusp of being able to improve. It's up to him whether he decides to continue to cross the line. The checkered flag has fallen. All these laps are the final ones. I think Chums is the only one really pushing on this lap as he goes to the line. Then Chums from 14th stays 14th, cannot improve. And it looks like Chums and Uzi on the bubble here for elimination. Depends what the game decides, whether to eliminate 3 or 2 drivers. Strictly it should be 2, but sometimes I've seen the 15th place driver be eliminated on pace. Good evening to everyone just joining us. Apologies for the fact that this is the second video. If we have further connection issues, remember to go back to the channel homepage and refresh after a couple of minutes. Give me a chance to get in and repopulate the title screen. But Q1 is done. Bertz is in the pits, so no more fast laps will be registering right now. Looks like we're fairly clear from too much by way of load shedding in South Africa today. Only a couple of drivers were affected, so that's always a good thing. Chum's just then getting some practice heading into the pits, and it will do well. He will do well to do that practice to get into the pits. It's not the easier. Typo says nothing better than watching some good racing. I couldn't agree more. So Umer it was with the fastest lap in Q1. He has a 108.442. I think we will see 107s. We may even see a 106 tonight. Hashim registers the second place time with Martin and Nick Gishin and Avalak, the usual suspects, right at the top. Top Gun, Shakes, Royal Viking, Arno and 02 will be favourites to tackle to go through to Q3. Brad, Pantry Star, Boonies and Chums looking for improvement, as will Uzi, who survived Q1 with Bertz and Jack out until the race. So I promised you some standings. Let's get on with it, shall we? Umer leads the division currently on 159 points to Martin's 111. It's the gap really opening up now at the top of the standings. Pantry Star is close to Martin on 106. Then comes Avalak, having a very successful campaign so far on 92 points. Boonyi is fifth, 02 is sixth. Then comes Chums, Top Gun, Nick Gishan, and Uzi himself in 10th position. Everyone has scored points so far down to 18th. Bertz, who has a single point to his name. But really, that's the picture at the top of the tree. In the constructor standings, remember that the constructor standings are combined across division between the Premier Division and Division 2 at least. Red Bull are in first position on 406 from Mercedes 335. Haas on 288. Ferrari have 250, and Umer and his McLaren only in fifth place on 232. Really needs some better point scores coming in from the Premier Division for McLaren. Williams is in sixth place on 197, then Alfa Romeo on 102. Aston Martin have 86, and it's close at the bottom. Alpha Tauri on 84. No Alpine teams represented in the two top divisions of our league here. Arno is the first one out this time, so let's ride with Arno in the Alfa Romeo. Drivers looking to see some improvement. It looks like a nice dry session at this stage. I have no weather predictions have come my way. Here we go then, with Arno braking heavily into Curva 1, and now the Esto Senna right-hander. We'll see Curva del Sol next very quickly, and then the short straight of Retta Aposta is the next one. Into Decido del Lago, double left-hander pretty much. The second part is just an acceleration zone really, coming out of the corner, and now into Ferradura and La Joreña. Two right-handers down into Pinerino, Esse, now Pinerino for Bico de Pato. As AP Mark says, it's always sunny at FTR. Indeed. Tiago cheering on Shakes and Brad. They need a little uptick in pace, you have to say, at the moment. Somewhat lacking in Q1. Maybe that was a tactical decision though. So Arno, first driver out of the pits, first driver to approach the line here at racing speed. Trying to take this very gently on the steering wheel. But stay left, and he gets a 108.7, 3/10 off the fastest time we had on the previous session. Martin is on a lap as well as Umer, who's about to cross the line. So let's get hold of Umer's time of 108.4. Matches his time virtually in that one. Who was that in the wall? Looked like Shakes. Is he just slowing for someone else maybe? Maybe that's the case, but it was definitely a yellow flag. Martin then, this time he's begging that stopwatch to slow down as he goes across the line. It's a 108.464, and he's on top of the standings so far for this session. Early speed from Martin, and that will give him the advantage of being able to push on the next attempts with a fair degree of freedom. Got some support for Brad and Shakes in the chat, so let's watch the next lap with Brad. It's currently an outlap though, because everybody has set their first time. So 108.4, still the benchmark, no major improvement from Q1. Ride with Brad, distinctive fluorescent yellow helmet in the Alpha Tauri. Down we go then into Curva 1. Very high gear of fifth gear coming through here. That might indicate that it's a gentle lap, possibly. or he's just trying to eliminate that wheel spin. 17.1 first time. That's a purple sector, so obviously being in a high gear has really helped with his time. Let's just make sure we've got tyres on as well, but soft tyre is the way to go for everybody here in Q2. We're struggling really on the audio with the gear changes. They don't seem to quite match what I'm seeing and the speed that we've seen so far. So purple in Q1, sorry, it's sector 1. Sector 2 is a 52.299. Glad. Up the hill then, and it is 109.147 from Brad. Not a hugely quick time, unfortunately, for him. Let's see, Royal Viking is pushing at the moment, so we'll stay with him. He's currently on a 110.124. Looked like a charge lap to start with, possibly where he's got virtually no ERS left in this on this lap. So I imagine he's not going to continue to go faster, especially up the hill to the start-finish line out of Yumsao. Sprint to the line. Another purple sector for Royal Viking. This one should be a better time for him. Up the hill we go. P11 jumps to P9 with a good lap there. So the next ones to push at the moment, we've got Shakes and Avalak. Avalak has set a purple first sector for himself. Nick is further along in the lap. Ride with Nick. See if we can convert some of this qualifying pace into a consistent race run. It's been something of a weakness for Nick so far this season. He's hoping for a tow from the car in front. I don't think he's going to get it, and Nick gets a 108.578 on the first attempt here in Q2. Just over 7.5 minutes to run in this session. Looks like Avalak going relatively slowly. Yeah, just preparing for the next lap for a better one, I think. Shakes is on a hot lap at the moment and just steps over that curb coming through Desida de Lago, and unfortunately that is the end of that one as well. Uzi has set a 115.5 so far. Does look to be, is he going fairly slowly here? Hard to tell when drivers short shift and you get a couple of audio glitches. Looks like we might be suffering a little bit of glitch here, of lag, sorry, on the car. Yeah, definitely going slower on this one. Ignition is still out there, but I imagine he's on his in-lap. Shakes, is he coming into the pits? Yes, he is. So, just a few cars actually on track and pushing hard at the moment. Uzi is about to attack the next hot lap. Using that 5th gear. And that's a bit better. Half a second faster than he's been before. But I imagine he lost more time than that in the previous lap in the second and third sectors. Nice and smooth. As I said before, nothing wrong with Uzi's lines through the corners. It'll just be a matter of generating a little bit more mid-corner speed that he needs. And there we go, much faster, and in fact faster than anybody so far in the second sector. Uzi then heading for the line. DRS beep indicates he will open the flap at the back, and a 109.7. That's a 13th place good enough time so far. I think he'll be looking for a little bit more pace than that if he can find it. We've got Pantry Star just touring at the moment, maybe trying to give Chums a tow up the hill, is he? Oh well, Chums has got an invalidated lap on the board at the moment, but he might be trying to get that tow ready for the next lap. It will help drag him forward, and his teammate just a little bit slower through the first 3 corners, possibly, which is just that natural concertina effect maybe. So he's going to try and improve. It's a 1.5 tenths improvement so far. True Star either pushing himself or doing the favours here. I can't quite make up my mind what the decision is. Shakes, is he about to cross the line? He is. On a slow lap, unfortunately. Let's go back to Chums. Remember that Uzi finished in P15 on the previous one, so he's improved by a factor of a place of 1, but Uzi yet to actually, Shakes yet to log his first time here. Just under 4 minutes to go in the session, and Chums will try and make use of that tow from the car in front. Chums from 13th, stays 13th, but improves by 1.5 tenths, just defending that 13th place. So it won't be much use to him, unfortunately. Come the end of this session, he needs to get himself comfortably, I would say, into the 108 club, if possible. Someone just posted a time and jumped up the order. I'm afraid I didn't catch who that was. Maybe it was Avalak. Thinking about it. Shakes running a little bit wide out of Yonsal, but no major drama. The line then we go, and across the line for Shakes up to P13, steals 13th off Chums at 109.300, and again lacking a little bit of pace tonight, Shakes and his teammate Brad. What I wonder is going on with those two. Hashim has been quick and a little inconsistent so far in qualifying today. He's quicker still through sector 1 on his next attempt. Good evening to Puna, who is here with his checkered flag as well. Good throttle pickup through the Pinerino corner from Hashim. We are 5 tenths up on the previous fastest time, and that, if he can hold on to that kind of improvement, he could grab provisional fastest here in Q2. He heads to the line, does Hashim, and it is fastest, and it's a 108.185. That is significantly quicker than anybody else so far. I wonder if the top 9 have decided to hold fire, as Brad posts a much better time in the Alpha Tauri, P6 now. But we'll focus on the guys at risk of elimination. Uzi improves. Does he know? I think that was just an outlap or a charge lap there. Who else have we got? Shakes is on the bubble. So is Zero. So Zero will be a little bit perturbed here to be at risk of elimination while still only, what, 7 tenths away from pole, from the fastest time so far. You'd be hoping to get a bit of improvement here. Through the Regulo corner, crosses the sector time. This one won't be much quicker, but I'm sure he'll be gunning for it in the next lap. Good news. This first lap here is a bit slow at this stage. The retirement's coming in at the top of the tree. 108.1 your reference point here for Q2 at the moment, but the elimination point appears to be around the 108 point. Quite make up my mind there. The 108.8 or 108.9 may be the elimination point tonight. Nick Gishen's time was put him a little bit lower in the order than I imagine he would like to be. Shakes just exploring the grip out on the grass as he gets out of the way of another driver on a hot lap. Here is Bunyiz. It'll be his last flying lap here in Q2. It's been a while since I've seen the clock. Bunyiz over the line at 109.1, and indeed it is the last laps here for everybody. Uzi in 12th, Zero is in 11th, and hoping to get up there. He's got a purple middle sector, fastest in the middle sector of the racetrack. So stretching for the line, just needs a small improvement to jump up the order. He gets a massive one instead, up to 108.4 and heading the best of the rest so far. And that demotes Pantry Star unusually into the elimination zone. So Pantry Star will want to make the most out of this final attempt. He is quicker by 0.2 of a second, and it is so tight in the top 10. We are on for a tremendous Q3 session. Can't wait for it. If this is the field spread, it is a short track, but still just a matter of a few tenths separating second and 10th, and Pantry Star gets himself well clear of that, a 108.484, and completes Q2. So I will take you through the finishing order, and then I'll take my customary quick break before we get into the meat of Q3. Hashim, this time the fastest driver on a 108.184 from 0 Martin Pantry, and Umer all on the same 10th of a second, a 108.4. Avalak a 108.6, a little bit away, but still within shouting distance. Royal Viking, Brad and Top Gun complete the top 10. Nick must have broken the car, because he has been eliminated officially, even though he had a faster time. Nick has gone. Arno, Uzi, Shakes, Bootiers and Chums are the remainder. And like I say, I'll be back in just a few seconds. Back with Webbo then, and back on track. This time Hashim, who with the fastest time in Q3 will be a hot favourite for the pole position. Let's track his lap as far as we possibly can. 16.8 is a good first sector regarding the relative performance of the drivers tonight. Who's your prediction for pole, those of you watching? And at what kind of time will we see a 107 in this third session? I don't think we've seen everything that we're likely to see from Martin and Umer so far. Hashim showing us the kind of pace he was able to command already. Whether other drivers are keeping their cards closer to their chest, we shall wait and see. 51.661 then for the second sector for Hashim. All the work done now, just gently steering with the minimum inputs possible before crossing the line. And on 108.2, not quite as quick as he went previously. Umer's about to cross the line, and he has logged himself a 1:15.1, just a charge lap for Umer it seems at the moment. Martin is on track, his teammate is not. 02 seems to retire from the session there in the Ferrari on the approach to Pico di Pato. Puna says Martin on pole, but Umer is going to win the race. Wow, great to have that that prediction in. I haven't asked for your podium predictions yet. Martin heading through as Pantry Star logs a good time, 108.1. Still nobody able to drop into the 107s just yet. Martin is about to get there though. Let's see, under the blimp and over the line, and it's a 107.996 by the finest of margins. Manages to get himself up there into the 107s and a provisional pole position on the first round of laps here. We've got Brad stretching for the line now in 9th place. 108 ticks by, 109 ticks by, and a 109.181. That is not going to do it tonight. I don't think. You're not going to get far up the grid on with that time, unfortunately. And AP Mark says Umer for both win and pole position. Well, remains to be seen. Avalak won't be able to set his time just yet, having invalidated this lap. So Top Gun in the pits, Royal Viking on an out lap, and it looks like Avalak the next one to try and get himself. Usually qualifies 3rd or 4th, does Avalak. He'd love to be on the front row though. Safely through first 3 corners of the lap. Big amount of apex curb there through Decido del Lago, first part at least. Now Ferradura much further away from the curb for a tighter line through La Harina. SA Pinerino come at you very quickly, but he's through those corners very neat and tidy. Pico di Pato similarly, some short shifting going on into Magulo. Apologies for my voice, not quite sure what's going on right now. So we head to the line with Avalak. Will it be 3rd? Will it be 4th? Will it be even better? We will see. Here we go then. It's a 108.5. A little gap then to the top 3. It is a 4th position starting place for him. Royal Viking just logs a 109.0, so it looks like he and Brad will be fighting at the back of this Q3 session. And 02, like I say, retired unfortunately from his one. Hashim is on his next attack lap right now. 4th gear on the unique Williams dashboard arrangement and steering wheel. The dashboard mounted display rather than the wheel. 500ths faster through sector 1 is Hashim than he's been before. Some more to gain to get himself into the 107s and fight for pole. I'd love to see a 4-way battle at the top here. I really would tonight. We should check in with Umer on the next timing sector as well, because he's pushing. Hasn't really logged a true lap yet. Just warming those tyres up. Now that's a bit more like it for Hashim. Nearly half a second faster. He will be nailed on for a potential pole, but it's Umer who's gone even faster still than he's gone before through the second sector. So Hashim for the line then. He logs a 107.849. Will we see that beaten straight away by Ume? Yes, indeed, a 107.6. So the fastest laps really coming in now. Just over 4 minutes to go with the remainder of the session. Martin, Pantry Star, Abalak all in the pits, as is Royal Viking. Brad is the next one on a hot lap, but it's Ume versus Hashim, and Ume gets the nod on this Q3 so far.